All right, Super Metroid fans, it looks like we're finally getting this race started. We're kicking it off. Thank you for your patience. Dealt with some technical difficulties. My name is the Hockey Towner, and I'm joined by Farrell, and we're presenting this Super Metroid Double Anti-Bingo Tournament race between Derp and Rumbleminze. Unfortunately, it looks like we're experiencing, or maybe Derp is experiencing some technical difficulties. It appears to have gone offline. Rumble, though, continuing. About to face off against the mighty Bomb Terizo. Using that morph ball, sliding towards the Bomb Terizo to avoid taking damage, grabbing those missiles. Just pounding Bomb Terizo with those missiles, blowing open its chest cavity, trying to avoid the decapitation animation, and he does so perfectly. So we'll take a closer look at the card here. It looks like a pretty tricky one. Both runners electing to choose row 2 for each other. All right, Rumble making his way downtown to Green Brinstar.
All right, I'm here now.
Hey, Farrell, welcome. Good to hear from you.
I was talking to myself then. But not the first time today.
Sorry about that.
all that fuss with the stream not being live, and I muted my mic and forgot.
Happens to the best of us all the time. I've done it probably once every time I've done commentary.
Yeah. So looking at this card, row 2 is an interesting one. You've got all four Norfair energy tanks, which means going down into lower Norfair and defeating Ridley. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot that's quite bad. I would have gone for column 3 personally. There's a lot of collection, but we'll see what they pair it with.
That's an excellent point, for. I mean, you got in column 3, you got 11 plus energy tanks, 100 plus missiles, 20 plus super missiles. That is a lot of pickups.
Yeah, and skip charge beam, but also finish at landing site is deceivingly difficult because the landing site is where you start, and so you're going all around the planet, and then you're basically having to go all the way back to the start after you're done. So it's quite hard to route in sometimes.
Absolutely. Really nice reverse mock ball there from Rumble to get out of the early supers room. So he's heading down, going to Big Pink. He's already got that first of 2 reserve tanks. So probably given that second row, probably going to be grabbing the Norfair reserve tank, but we'll see.
So I'm just looking at what they pair this one with. There is column 4, because defeat Ridley you have to do anyway. 2 reserve tanks you have to do anyway. Skip Spazer is free, basically. So you got criteria super missiles, which means a double visit. You have to go down and get speed. And free Brinstar energy recharge stations isn't too bad. So column 4's pairs quite nicely with that. Other than that, there's column 5, but if they're going into lower Norfair, you don't really want to visit Meridia. I think what people try to do is do either lower Norfair or Meridia, but not both. Oh, and Rumble missing the red tower hero shot there. Derp is trying to get his stream back online, he says, so hopefully he can get that up.
Well, we here in the commentary booth wish Derp all the best of luck. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to track what he has done or hasn't done. But Rumble heading to go grab those alpha power bombs. Let's see if he gets a nice swaggy D boost. Executed perfectly.
And I assume he's going to go straight out of here and not get those missiles behind. There's no point doing the collection tiles if you don't have to.
Absolutely, that'd be a tremendous time suck to go for that column 3 if he doesn't have to. And Rumble heading back up to Criteria, well, maybe he's heading straight to Wreck Ship.
Yeah, that's a brave move. Phantoon first can always be difficult, especially looking at his health here, 73. He can only take 2 hits from Phantoon. Oh, and Derp is back online, it seems.
Welcome back, Derp. Derp's facing off against Kraid, setting up for that Kraid quick kill.
So hopefully our tracker, Belfazar, can figure out what he's done. It looks like he's got Brinstar Reserve. And he skipped Spazer.
Right you are. And he just barely missed that final super on the Kraid quick kill, going for the 4 super method, but doesn't dance with Kraid too long and picks up the Varia suit.
Meanwhile, Rumbleminze is choosing to refill at the ship. That's a good move there. So now he's going to be a lot safer at Phantoon, and he has a full reserve. So now he's coming up to the CWJ here, the moat. This can always be tricky. Let's hope he gets it first try.
That moat can be very difficult. Looks like he's going to have to go with the horizontal bomb jump.
Yeah, this bomb jump is pretty tricky. The trick to doing it is when you bounce back, you have to face right. Otherwise, you don't get the momentum to bring you to the platform on the right. But you need to know that. It's counterintuitive. You need to know that to actually be able to do that trick. But hopefully he gets it here.
Meanwhile, Derp exiting Kraid. We'll see if he heads down Norfair. Yes, he will. Probably going to make a beeline straight for Bubble Mountain. He can pick up that second reserve tank.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if he goes straight down to Lower Norfair here. He has Varia. If he gets this E-tank here, he has enough health to do a lava dive and be safe and do all of Lower Norfair. It will be quite dangerous because he's going to take twice as much damage as if he'd have Gravity Suit, but It's certainly doable, and it would save a lot of backtracking.
Absolutely. How about Rumble with that backup? Reset the room, go straight into a CWJ, sticks the landing. 10 out of 10 movement. Really nice from Rumble as he heads down wreck ship and goes straight for that ghost. The ghost with the most reset runs in this game. Gonna tangle with Fantoon in a few seconds. Meanwhile, Derp exiting high jump. He's got the missiles, the energy tank, and the high jump boots. So no high jumpless lava dive because this isn't a rando seed. It's double anti-bingo. But still very bold by Derp to be heading, well, what presumably heading to Lower Norfair.
Let's see what kind of patterns Rumbleminze gets here. Not a fast. And he gets a mid-round one.
Mid-fast for Rumble, went for the Doppler, didn't get quite all of them to connect.
And you can see his health now. Fantoon can eat a lot of health, and it goes down quickly, so you really need to be careful, but he's dealing with it well.
Absolutely, he's managing those flames well. He was just kind of biding his time, waiting for the opportune moment to strike Fantoon. Now into a slow pattern, gets a couple missiles to connect.
He can't finish it here. I think he just needs a super missile now. Meanwhile, Derp has gone and got his speed booster.
A quick farm for Derp. Looks like Rumble has finished off Fantoon.
Nice.
The ghost is busted.
So yeah, now Derp looks like he is going to get this second reserve so he can take that tile off straight away. Don't forget, Derp has the 2 of the top 5 fastest times in this tournament, so he is a hell of an opponent to go against, but that's not to discount Rumble. He's a really good player. Both of these really good at dab.
I'll say, to make it this far in this tournament and just kind of head into this round expecting no quarter to be given, and coupled with a pretty challenging card from the looks of it. Looks like Derp's got his second reserve tank.
And Rumbleminze going for this second super pack. This could be just because he's skipping charge and he wants the extra ammo. There is also the 10 wreck ship super tiles, so let's have a look at column 2. He can get wave beam when he's in Norfair. He has to get X-ray scope. Both Brimstone missile recharge stations. One of them's at Kraid. And collect spring ball. So the only bad one on that column 2 is collect spring ball, which is a bit out of the way.
Absolutely, and can be pretty tough to get to, I mean, without grapple or space jump.
Yeah. Especially if you're skipping Spazer, because there is actually a setup if you have Spazer to make it easier, but if you don't, you basically have to just shoot and hope you hit, hope you freeze the worm at the correct frame.
Oh, absolutely, to get that that ice clip.
So Derp coming down to Crocomire here.
And
He does need this. He does need this energy tank, so he could just get that and then piece him out for you.
That's true. He does. Yeah, like you said, he does need the Croc tank.
And this also combines well if he is going straight to Lower Norfair. That extra energy tank will come in handy. So this is 2 completely different routes. Rumble has gone up to Gravity, and Derp looks like he's going down straight to Lower Norfair. So 2 completely different ways to tackle this row.
Rumble choosing to top off his energy just a tiny bit so he can make sure to get across bowling. Gonna take a couple of big leaps and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's always tricky, especially if you don't have more than 180 health. You can die in 2 hits.
Absolutely, but he makes it look easy. 2 big jumps. Derp with a nice speed ball out of Croc. And another power bomb pack for Derp. Very interesting.
Yeah,
You gotta
can't
think
see
that
anything that pairs with
Derp's
that.
Derp's got to be committing to that first column if he's going down for grapple beam. Tough to say, I suppose.
Did he get Criteria Map Station? I don't think he did. Although we didn't see.
That's an excellent point. His stream was offline for that.
Yeah, and we didn't see whether he defeated Spore Spawn either, so the 2 things which would tell us what row or column he's doing, we didn't see.
Absolutely. Rumble, though's got his gravity suit. Got a nice swaggy purple paint job. So now that he's got a suit upgrade, looks like he's going to do some cleanup in Brinstar.
Oh, he's going for the map station.
Interesting move from Rumble. I can't think that he's going to do row 3, so he must be going for column 5.
Yeah, the Meridian map station's not too bad. It's right at the start of Meridia. But you have to do Spore Spawn and Port Wound. And visit the critters, which means
visit the
speed
critters,
boost,
yes.
and going back. So that's an interesting column to pick. But it does mean he could finish right next to Charge Beam.
It looks like our hypothesis was wrong. Derp heading back up out of Norfair, not heading down to lower Norfair. I wonder if he's heading to Meridia now that he's got grapple.
Yeah, the only reason I can think of him not going to Norfair is partly because it's dangerous and partly because he'd have needed more ammo, and he didn't collect a lot along the way because he doesn't have charge. So.
An excellent point, Farrell, and also serious business pointing out in chat. Yeah, not enough ammo for Derp to kill Ridley.
Yeah.
So instead, he's back into Red Tower.
He does have plenty of power bombs, so he could have gotten enough ammo along the way, but it'd have been a risky move for sure.
Derp heading up Red Tower goes for that hero shot, executes perfectly, but choosing to skip X-ray scope for now.
And Rumble, has he gone down Brinstar? This does look like he's visiting the critters here. Oh no, he's jumping over. Interesting. So not column 5.
Some
Row
interesting.
3? Row 3? If he gets 11 energy tanks?
It could be. He already has 2 of the 5 squares, but some curious and interesting developments early in this seed. We're only 22 minutes in. And Derp definitely committing to picking up power bombs. So I wonder if he's going to go for Ridley with power bombs.
And now Rumbleminze is coming up to defeat Spore Spawn, so he's doing everything.
That's right. We're going for a full clear of this bingo card.
Yeah, I'm lost at this point. I don't know which one Rumbleminze is doing. Maybe he's just toying with us. So the only reason you do spore spawn is if you need to, because it's out of the way. So it's got to be row 1, column 1, or the diagonal. It can be Brinstar power bombs because he skipped the Etikun ones. And it can be row 1 because he didn't visit the critters. So top left, bottom right, which would still involve those 11 energy tanks, except you've got to backtrack for criteria supers. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, that makes 2 of us. I can't make heads or tails of it. But you know, these both runners are putting on an excellent show. I mean, they're picking up items and traveling all over Zebus. Looks like Derp's heading down to face Fantoon, so he's got to be going for Gravity Suit or perhaps just the 10 wrecked ship supers.
Yeah, if you wanted to know what the rest of the Super Metroid map looks like, you tuned into the right match. We're seeing it all here. So Derp going up to his Fantoon battle now. He has Varia and a lot more energy tanks, so I wouldn't expect to see him die here.
That is an excellent point. Fantoon is always easier no matter your skill level if you have more energy. This Fantoon can definitely damage you down very quickly. Rumble making its way through Green Hill Zone. Where he ends up, nobody knows.
He is skipping the rest of Brinstar cleaning up, so whatever he's doing, he seems to know what he's doing. Skipping X-ray. So not top left to bottom right then. Maybe he just wanted to defeat Spore Spawn. So he's going into Meridian now. Let's see if he goes straight to that Meridian map station and then heads out.
Derp still facing off against Fantoon. Got a little bit trolled, but still great energy. Finishes him off with a super missile. Nice fight by Derp. Both ghost busted in this card for both runners. And we'll see if Derp heads up to the attic and goes for that gravity suit.
Meanwhile, Rumbleminze going up. It looks like he's going to bot wound. Or the super missiles here.
So definitely committed to picking up super missile packs. But maybe not so much on the missile pack. So I wonder if he's going for... Well, no, because he didn't visit the critters.
He's got the 20 plus super missiles now. But he skipped the Brinstar power bombs. And I cannot see him deliberately going for column 3.
Yeah, like
that
you
is
said,
such a heavy amount of collection.
Oh, absolutely. That would be a huge, huge amount of time invested just on those pickups, and these both runners still have a lot of that chosen row, that row 2 to complete.
So it looks like he is going for the Meridian map station. That pretty much locks in column row 5, which means he is going back to Brinstar. He has to for the... No, he doesn't have to. I mean, he does now. He needs to go back and get the Brinstar power bombs, but...
That crucial Meridian map station.
Yeah, if he's doing row 5, I'm not sure why he didn't get the Etikun power bombs when he was there. So derp is going back to Criteria. He could be heading left and going to do some Brinstar cleanup.
What if we're going to see from both runners just almost kind of in a collection period, at least for derp, and then maybe once he feels comfortable, he's got everything he needs, he's going to go into Norfair, defeat Ridley, grab all the E-tanks, and then come back up to Wave Beam. I wonder if that's the play for derp.
Yeah, he's not going to destroy the statues, which he could have done there, so that rules out column 1. Oh, he's turning back. He's turning back. Maybe he is, and he forgot. Yep, he is doing that, so yeah. Right. Looks like derp is doing column 1 then. He has to wait a little bit here, and the door will reopen once the 2 statues are destroyed. Again, shoutouts to Balthazar for tracking for us.
Yes, thank you, Balthazar, doing an excellent job. We all appreciate your efforts. Tracking can be tricky. I personally have never done it, but I know if I did, I would fall woefully behind because I'd be spectating too much.
Yeah, it's really hard to do in the item randomizer tournament. I had to commentate and track a 4-way race, and it's super difficult to do. So the tracking, you have to be aware of what everyone's doing at all times. That means keeping track of ammo counts as well.
Absolutely, and to do both, to commentate and track simultaneously, that is a rare talent.
Yeah, luckily we have a lot of volunteers for this tournament. So Rumbleminze getting his speed booster. He does have plenty of supers. We could see him go down and defeat Ridley now. Let's see exactly how much he has here. Not filling to full. He can get some power bombs along the way. He has to go defeat Crocomire still, I believe. Nice damage boost across Bubble Mountain.
What a swaggy move by Rumble. Like you said, Farrell. Damage boosting across to get to that second reserve tank. Very nice movement by Rumble. And derp picking up another Brinstar power bomb pack, which brings his total count up to, your guess is as good as ours, but somewhere between 20 and 25.
So he has to get all 25 Brinstar power bombs. So he has to get a blue Brinstar still. He has to get the Mission Impossible. I think that might be it. Just those 2. He's going up to defeat Spore Spawn. I think what we're looking at here is a gentleman's agreement to defeat Spore Spawn in the race, just to confuse myself and Hockey. So you guys succeeded. Well done.
Yes. GG's to Derp and Rumble on confusing the heck out of Farrell and I. And it's not, I can't speak for Farrell, but it's extremely easy to confuse me as A, I don't watch a lot of double anti-bingo for Super Metroid, and 2, or I should say B, should say that first time commentating, but we're having a great time despite some early setbacks. But the most important thing is that both runners are putting on a terrific show for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Rumbleminze defeating Crocomire. He has to get this energy tank here. And derp coming up to get this Spore Spawn supers, probably just for the extra ammo for Ridley. And a nice moonfall there. Falling down at speed. It does mess up the graphics, but other than that, it doesn't do any harm.
So Derp, having fulfilled the terms of the gentleman's agreement between him and Rumble, both runners defeating Spore Spawn.
I like that.
That's terrific.
So Rumbleminze, I would expect, will just head on out of here. There's no reason for him to get grapple beam. He does have to get X-ray, but with Gravity Suit, it's a lot safer than with Varia. You take a lot less damage, so you can just damage boost all the way there. And he does just peacing out.
I think Derp is getting awfully close to finishing up that bottom left corner, collect all 25 Brinstar Power Bombs.
Yeah, just the blue Brinstar to go, I believe. Getting this missile pack, he didn't get it on the way. That's interesting.
Just trying to strap up with more ammunition maybe before he heads down to Lower Norfair.
Yeah, and he's going to get these blue Brinstar power bombs now. Rumble heading down into Lower Norfair to do his Ridley fight. He's setting up for the Lava Spark here. And misses the down press. That is a really hard trick to do. You only have, depending on which way you do it, you only have a frame or two to actually press down at the end there. It's really hard to set it up. Nice gravity jump, not spin jumping, so he had a lot of confidence that he'd get the height he needed there.
Absolutely. I've actually not seen that done with a like a post pause jump to initiate the lava jump.
Yeah, so
what the heck am I even saying right now?
The later you press jump after you've paused, the higher you get. So if you don't spin jump, you can't do the wall jump back up. So you better hope you press jump late enough to get the height. But Rumbleminze did, so that's good. He's going for the fast pillars here now. He needs to get a short charge.
Saw the stutter. He might have it here.
Ooh,
just missed it. Derp heading to grab X-ray scope. And then you gotta think he's gonna head down to Lower Norfair too, like Rumble.
So Rumble, I think, needs to get the power bombs of shame now, unless he gets a lucky drop. He's not gonna have enough power bombs, but it'll come in handy for Ridley. Playing it safe here. This is called the worst room in the game for good reason.
Absolutely. With or without strategies to clear it, it's still a very challenging room.
So he needs to remember not to use the power bomb where you normally would in any percent when you're heading down to Wasteland. Otherwise, he'll run out.
Super count for Rumble looking great, but energy a little bit low. Maybe Firefly's going to come into play here.
Yeah, he has to get that anyway, so he might as well just get it now, and he is.
Thank you, Pharaoh. That's right. Collect all 4 Norfair energy tanks. As it turns out, Lower Norfair is a part of Norfair.
Yeah, it is quicker to get this on the way out, but only by a handful of seconds. So for the extra safety it gives him with that low energy tank, it was absolutely the right call to get it now.
And like you said, to avoid picking up power bombs of shames, you can definitely farm those fire fleas.
Yeah,
now his power bomb count is absolutely where it should be. Both these runners just tremendous competitors. And look like Derp. Looks like he's gonna be right in Rumble's footsteps. Gonna head down to Lower Norfair.
I'm not actually sure which one's ahead at the moment. Because both of them have done wildly different routes. So Derp has most of his rows and columns. He just needs to get the energy tanks in Lower Norfair. but he has to finish near one of the beams, and the closest one would be Wave. So he does have to defeat Ridley and then exit all the way to Wave Beam. Rumble has a bit more to do. If he is doing row 5, he has to go into Meridia and collect Spring Ball. But he can also finish near Spacer, which isn't too far away.
That's a good observation, Farrell. Yeah, that last square of that row 2 is pretty lenient.
Yeah, I have to point out here that Rumble's ammo count is pretty bad. If he's defeating Ridley without any ammo, he's got to do a lot of farming here, and that could cost him the race.
Derp with a really nice lava dive, making it look so easy as he heads down to Lower Norfair.
So he's going to open this eye door, waste a super, that's unfortunate, and now we're probably going to see a lot of farming here.
It's an honest way to make a living, after all.
I like that. Meanwhile, Derp heading, he's pretty close behind. He's going left. He could just want these super missiles, but that does mean defeating GT. He could also just be getting a screw attack for the extra safety. It is just right here. So Rumble farming with missiles, this does make it easier, but missile drops are quite rare here, so... And he might need those missiles for defeating Ridley. Yeah, he's just going to get that screw attack. All that does is makes his Lower North that much more safer. Screw attack, you can basically destroy any enemies, and he can farm super missiles here. I never thought of that. That's a really good move.
Yeah, way to go, Derp. The 1-2 punch of the screw attack to, lighten the load in Lower Norfair, and then just killing all those rippers, getting a copious amount of super missiles.
Yeah, at this point, I'd say Derp is ahead.
I think so. Plus, now we're going to see fast pillars exiting from the green gate side. Very nice by Derp.
And you'll see how much of a difference this screw attack makes here. He's just going to destroy these guys with ease.
Just going through them like a buzzsaw. Screw attack is definitely the most OP item in the game, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a good point by Belfazar. Rumble is probably wishing he picked up Grapple here, because he could farm these guys pretty quickly with Grapple.
Absolutely, the old farm beam. Definitely can come in handy.
So Rumble has enough ammo to go now. It looks like he is just going to get 30 super missiles means he doesn't need to use any other beam or ammo. He can just defeat Ridley with the supers alone. And here we go. This is going to be a quick fight.
Well, Rumble strapped up with 30 supers. Just going to lay into Ridley. Damage per second must be in the billions as he opens the fight with a quick 5 super.
Yeah, staying on the ground there forces Ridley into a pogo, which means he can just spam so many supers here without Ridley flying up high.
Rumble just manipulating that pogo and just delivering a fusillade of supers.
And he's dead already.
Wonderful fight by Rumble. Ridley is down.
That was really well manipulated. And so we'll see how much Derp has to farm here. I believe he only has 25 supers max, whereas Rumble had 30. But Derp does have screw attack, so that's going to make farming these guys a little bit easier. And he does have grapple.
Whether grapple or screw attack, he's got the moves, he's got the tools to make for a quick farm before his Ridley fight.
Yeah, look at the difference it's making. He's there already. He's got his super count.
Just touching up the energy, and now he's head straight into Ridley. Rumble exiting, going past those metal pirates. So Rumble's going to make his lower Norfair escape, having gotten all 4 Norfair energy tanks. Of course, Derp still has 1 more to get.
Oh, yeah. Rumble tried to set up a damage boost there using his iframes to get the short charge so he could run through the side hoppers there. But he got hit twice, so that's unfortunate. Derp in his Ridley fight now.
Derp just opening with 13 missiles, just pounding Ridley with those regular missiles. We'll see if he can manipulate the pogo as expertly as Rumble.
Yeah.
Now he's laying into Ridley with those supers.
So 1 super missile on Ridley is the equivalent of 6 missiles. So Ridley's pretty much dead here. Yep, he is.
Tremendous fight by Derp. Very well executed.
Oh, it's 2 very good fights. So now we're going to see the difference in routing here. Derp only has to go out and head to Wave Beam and he's done. Whereas Rumble has a bit more to do outside of Norfair. Some nice dodging there. These key hunters can be really hard to get past.
Those 3 musketeers are ever deadly, and that last key hunter was really giving Rumble the business. Just didn't want him to get out without just laying into his energy a lot. But as you said, Farrell, yeah, Derp's very close to completing this card.
Yeah, I'd say he's about a minute or 2 away from finishing here.
Yeah, Rumble, or I should say Derp, showing off that screw attack, just ripping through the Tuskegee, powering through that statue, that little demon head. I usually got to use a bomb to blow up, and just, again, straight through those key hunters, makes for a very tidy escape.
So he's getting his final energy tank here in Norfair, so him completing that row, that column 1. So Rumble heading back into Meridia. I believe he is going to do Spring Ball now. No, he doesn't have ice. Bot wound?
Yeah, he must be.
Why didn't he do this the first time around? I'm not sure.
Well, it's hard to say, I suppose. But maybe he planned it this way, maybe he didn't, right?
Yeah, and one thing you got to notice, sometimes you can change your mind. You look at a row and column and you pick which one you want to do, and then halfway through the race you realize there's a better one and you switch, and that can easily happen. He didn't want these missiles, he tried to jump over them.
For sure.
But he does want these super missiles. That pretty much means he is doing bot wound. The super missiles do a lot of damage to bot wound. Meanwhile, Derp is about 5 seconds away from being done here.
Yeah, Derp through double chamber straight into wave beam.
And he has finished with an official SRL time of 47:39, which is a good time for this card. We'll see if he wants to come in for an interview here. Let me just tick him off as being the winner. It looks like someone's already done that, so we'll see if he wants to come in for an interview. Meanwhile, Rumbleminze is going to defeat his bot wound here now. 10 super missiles is what he needs. Oh, and bot wound's hitbox affecting Rumble there. Bot wound's hitbox is really, really bad. You can hit him straight on in the head and the game will just decide, nope, that's a miss. But he's heading on out to the left here. That's his Meridia trip done. He has defeated Spore Spawn and Bot Wound. So now he just needs to visit the critters. But he didn't visit the Eticunes on the first time around, so he has to go all the way back there.
GG, derp, and welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats.
That was rough. That was already a really rough card, and then it ended up being rougher than it had to be because my internet did not like the thunder outside. Decided to not.
We pretty much had to guess what you'd done up to that point.
I mean, the good news is I didn't really do anything special. It was just any percent without charge beam and charge missile, and then with the reserve. I ended up actually picking up the one of the two missiles behind the Brinstar reserve on accident, partially because I was kind of in a panic because my stream was down. But that actually ended up not being too bad. I had picked up a lot more missiles than I needed. I didn't expect that Ridley fight to go so well.
So how quickly did you decide on assigning row 2?
Pretty quickly. I mean, chargeless Ridley, it's like there were two rows. It was either column 1 or row 2 that both forced chargeless Ridley, basically.
Yeah.
Not even basically, just straight up. So it was like, which one looks worse? And I decided that X-Ray was probably worse. Because the reason I picked column 1 to pair with row 2 in the first place was because while doing the cleanup to get a bunch of super missiles, I could also just pick up all the power bombs. I felt like X-Ray was a little bit more out of the way. Like X-Ray and the 2 reserves. And plus the finish tile, so you couldn't just finish at Ridley.
And we were actually questioning whether you'd go straight down to lower Norfair or not. It'd have been risky with the ammo you had, because you'd have had to defeat Ridley using power bombs as well as supers and missiles.
See, honestly, the big thing that made it hard, which I guess is kind of my fault for picking column 1, but it was that destroy 2 statues. So that was the reason I didn't do lower Norfair first. Like, get a bunch of ammo and then go down to lower Norfairs, because I wanted to get that tile, and then I basically had my route planned out. I wanted to end at wave.
Yeah.
So,
Did you think Rumble would assign the same row as you?
I was looking at a couple other ones, like column 3 I was looking at, but yeah, I figured row 2.
That
row
would
2
have
or
been my
column 1.
pick. Yeah, column 3 would have been my pick. There's just so much collection there, and you still have to skip charge. Finish at the landing site, I said earlier, is deceptively hard because it's right at the start. So you got to go all the way, do a lot of collection, and then still route in, going back to the landing site.
Chat saying, did I consider column 4? And actually, I did. Looking back at it, that might have been better. The reason I didn't pick column 4 was because I didn't want to... Like, initially, my first thought was to do, like, what I said. Just go up Red Tower, get a bunch of ammo from Wreck Ship, and then Brinstar, and then go down to Norfair. But I didn't want to do that. Or the energy recharge tile. I would have to get Speed Booster for that. So that would make that entire route not possible unless I cheated. I was going to say unless I moondanced, but even then it wouldn't be possible, I guess.
Yeah, so you are moving on Is it to face Kip? In the
I
winners
believe it
brackets?
is.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I think Kip is a very good runner and also a very good dab runner. So there's
Yeah, this is his first dab tournament, but he's done super good in it. Just he's still in the winners bracket, destroying everyone that comes his way.
I don't want this to come off as rude to any of the people I've played against already. I mean, especially you, Farrell. But I want to say Kip's probably the favorite to win the whole thing. I would have said Sloters, but then Kip beat him. So
yeah, Sloters was the one I picked in the predictions because Sloters is such a good all-around player.
I mean, I picked.
But yeah, Kip beat him.
Yeah, so.
And it looks like Rumbleminze is shortly going to be finished here.
Good last-minute routing by Rumble to be finishing at Charge Beam. But yeah, Derp, GG, terrific race. Really impressed with kind of your decision making and everything else. That was really good show.
Yep. I guess it's a good thing I got my stream back up before the action happened, if you will.
Absolutely. Farrell and I were kind of flying through the Alps in an airplane with no windows, but we made the best of it.
I've got to ask you, did you have an agreement to defeat Spawn?
No, I just wanted to do column 1 because it seemed the best.
Because we were, especially with Rumble, we were debating between so many rows and columns. And he defeated Spawn, and we were like, why is he doing that? He's doing another. But he did end up doing column 5. So.
GG's to Rumble. He finishes with an official SRL time of 54:54.
Yeah, GG, and we'll see if we can get him in here for an interview. It looks like he is coming in, so we'll give him a second to set up his mic. So yeah, Derp, you've had a couple of the fastest race times in the tournament. How do you feel you've been doing so far in the tournament as a whole?
I mean, I guess I have to say I've been doing pretty good considering I'm playing in the winners finals, I guess. So, but I do feel like
yeah, you and Kip are the only two left in now in the winners bracket.
Yeah, but I do feel like I've done really well. Like maybe overperformed a little bit, but I think I've gotten to show a lot of things that I'm good at, and it's helped me a lot.
Right on,
GG
right on.
Rumble.
Yeah, thank you.
GG Rumble.
How was that for you?
Terrible.
Oh man.
I mean, it was fine. Like, it was a tough row. I'm looking at the restream now. It looks like Derp did Varia route instead of Wreck Ship route, which
Yeah,
would have been tough. So nicely done. So you must have went down with a lot fewer supers, which is a tough Ridley fight for sure.
Well, I still killed Fantoon. I just didn't get gravity.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
yeah, the destroy 2 statues. So Rumble, how quickly did you decide on your column or row that you were pairing it with?
It was about 36 minutes in or so.
Because initially it looked like you were doing everything.
I was. I couldn't decide. And the thing was, I knew at the beginning I was going to do Wreck Ship first because I wanted the supers for Ridley. I was going to do Wreck Ship and then Brinstar cleanup. But the problem with that is every row column or diagonal with that meant like another third trip back to Brinstar.
Yeah, because
the cores or something.
Yeah, you got the power bombs. No, you didn't. You got the energy tank by Etacoons, but then you didn't defeat the Etacoons.
Yeah, I should have visited the Etacoons there. That was just I just forgot.
That's what threw us off.
I still needed to come back to get the Decora with speed, even if I had visited them. So, it was just, I couldn't find a good row column or diagonal to pair with it. With doing the wreck ship first, and because the Destroy 2 statues that column 1 looked really attractive, but I would have had to go down and get Varia first, which apparently would have been the better choice.
Yeah, we were looking at column 4. The only downside to that was you'd have had to go back up to get Criteria Supers.
You also have to go back up and basically visit the Decora, so it would have been essentially the same thing.
Yeah, good point, Rumble.
So, because I looked at that too, and I was like, oh, that's basically the same. Although it would have meant I didn't have to kill bot wound, so maybe it would have been better. I could have skipped that.
Yeah, so you're still in the tournament, going down to the losers bracket. You could be facing a number of people. It could be Asda, Canadian Owl, Wooty, myself, or Freya's Spirit. So.
Well, that all
one of
sounds
those
terrible. Those are all fantastic runners. So
I can't ask you how you're feeling because it could be any of them.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, I've already done far better in this tournament than I expected to do, so I'm pretty happy to make it this far. And it's dab, so really anything can happen, right? It's very easy for a row calmer Dino that looks fast or easy to be deceptively hard or slow, and so there's a lot of leeway, and the people I've already been fortunate enough to defeat in this tournament is already means like whoever I face, like it should be a good match.
Yeah, you were one of the last 3 people left in the winners bracket, so that's a good achievement in itself.
Yeah, I'll definitely take it. So it's pretty good, and there's, like I said, it's not over yet, so we'll see how the losers bracket pans out. Maybe
Yeah,
a rematch with Derp in the losers bracket final.
It could happen. So looking at upcoming races, we've got myself versus Wooty tomorrow at 5 p.m. and Canadian Owl versus Asda at 7 p.m. So 2 races back to back pretty much tomorrow. We don't know what channels those are on yet. But yeah, any final thoughts?
Thank you very much for doing commentary, and Hockey, I think you're hanging out here too. Thank you for commentating as well. Really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. I was a little rusty, a little shaky, and never done dab commentary before, but it was a blast. Farrell definitely filled in my copious number of knowledge gaps, but a really nice, tremendous experience, and GG's to both of you, and thanks for letting me come aboard.
It was a really good race to commentate. So.
Cool, thank you. Good luck, Derp in the winners bracket finals. I know it's Derp and Kip, so that should be a really exciting match too.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's a heavyweight slug match, right?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of things I still need to shore up, but I'm really excited for that race. Yeah.
All right, well, that looks like it. There's nothing else coming up now on SpeedGaming 2. There is Final Fantasy on SpeedGaming 3 after the Mega Man 2 randomizer, and there's the Handheld Heroes Marathon going on SpeedGaming. So be sure to check one of those 2 out. Other than that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for the 2 races.